launching a tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs, and we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Happy St. Paddy's Day and welcome back to Legendary Foods Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo and today is Thursday, March 17th, 2022. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. How about a brand new update from Nick Walker to get your Thursday started off right? Earlier in the week, Nick released these progress photos on his Instagram and mentioned in the caption that his weight is currently floating somewhere between 294 to 296 pounds, and that his goal is to maintain this for a few weeks before he tries to start, creeping up slowly again. Throughout most of his offseason, Nick's been pretty vocal about his desire to be in contention for the Olympia title this year. So you'd imagine that trying to put on more size to become more comparable to guys like Ramy must be a part of the plan. But to be fair, Nick's proven that he knows how to execute at the highest level over the last 2 seasons. So if this is part of some strategic vision, then we should probably just trust the process because it's worked out pretty well for him so far. Speaking of trusting the process, it looks like the process is about to come full circle 8 weeks from now when Blessing Awodibu returns to the Indy Pro stage for his season debut. A few days ago, Blessing made the official announcement about his plan to roll out his new and improved look in Indy, which feels like an interesting choice because the Indy Pro is the show where he placed 3rd at his pro debut last year. According to people close to Blessing's camp, his weight was hovering around 297 at the time of these photos, and they're confident that the work he put in to bring up his legs will pay huge dividends when he steps on stage again in a few weeks. And if that's the way it plays out, there's a good chance that he ends up being dead center when the judges announce the names for the first call-out. We know that the internet loves to overanalyze things, so let's just all agree right now that we're not going to do that with these new Carlos Thomas videos so that we can actually appreciate them for what they are. And as you can see, one of the most exciting athletes from this year's rookie class is making all sorts of progress in his first official off-season as an IFBB pro. Up to this point, there hasn't been any hint from Carlos or his team about whether or not there's a possibility of him sneaking into a show towards the end of the season. But based on some of the content that he's been putting out lately, it definitely looks like that could be a possibility. So if things keep trending in the right direction, he's someone you might want to keep an eye on heading down the back stretch. Here's another interesting rookie that you might want to start keeping tabs on because he might have the potential to make a big impact at some point this year, depending on how things, shake out. Now, if you don't know who you're looking at, this is Marcello De Angelis, and he's another one of those up-and-coming athletes out of Brazil who's really starting to make a name for himself. He caught a lot of people's attention last year when he won his pro card in the open division at the Expo Super Show. But over the last few months, there's been a lot of buzz about him potentially making a transition to classic physique, which would make that division even more talent-rich. So if he's as good as advertised, then he might be able to step in and have a major impact from day one, like Urs Kalasinski did last year. And that would make the race for the top 3 in this division a whole lot more interesting. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.